Many thanks for staying with us. We're still following developments regarding the passing of Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State and the swearing in of Lucky Aiyedatiwa as governor of the state. Joining us for more on this is Sola Iji. He is former Nigerian ambassador to Togo, and he's a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Ondo State. Thank you very much for joining us. And well, it's like the end of an era in Ondo State and the beginning of another. How did you receive the news of the passing of Governor Akeredolu, and what are your fond memories of him?
Thank you very much for having me. Definitely the news came in as a shocking one, in the sense that we are all in prayers for him to get proper healing from the treatment he traveled for last time. And we thought that with all our prayers, he will come back and resume in good condition. But it was a sad news yesterday morning when we learned that he passed on. Aketi, as is fondly called, was well loved by us, was a very strong man, strong character, strong-willed, and very determined in his approach to governance. Even in his human relations, he could be tough, but he's largely assertive. And he tried his hand in a number of things that had propelled the state beyond the point he met it. And we are glad for him to have made those achievements. We'll definitely miss him. We'll miss him for different reasons, including the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And when you talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, would you like to expatiate on some of those?
Yeah, you know that he's a very senior advocate of Nigeria, excelled as a legal practitioner, a senior one at that, and he advocated for fairness, for justice, for equity. He was concerned about the security of the citizenry, and he championed this local policing system, which we refer to, which he christened as Amotekun. And Amotekun is the name of a very wild and dominant animal who is very strong at securing his environment. He did that for us, and he extended it to the entire Southwest. And you recall that as the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, he agitated for the transfer of executive powers at the presidential level from the north to the south, and he stood by it. And so it's an achievement. If you go to Ore, we have a flyover there, which for many years Ore had been, that confluence had been a very terrible problem. Sometimes people sleep there for a couple of days or even more. The traffic jam was, today you get to Ore, it's an easy ride. You never will even recall that that place was earlier such a problem. Even in Akure, he had dualized most of the city roads. Aketi did some wonderful things. Even in Ore, the industrial park is there. He had moved towards the exploration of our bitumen deposit, and he has secured for the state Port Ondo Aketi did, he had his hands full with reasonable and modest achievements.
All right, I hear you about the achievements of the late Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, but now a new man is at the helm of affairs, Governor Akeredolu. What are your expectations from his administration?
Yeah, because he worked with Akeredolu. I expect that most of the programs they started together, he will complete them in record time. Now, you know, I made mention of the low points. One major aspect is that majority of the members of the party are alienated from the government. He has a lot of work to do to bring members of the party together. If you enjoy the support of your party, persuading the citizens, you know, to follow and believe in our government will be much more easier. So he has a task of uniting the party. If possible, rejig the leadership of the party to ensure that they serve the purpose for which it is meant to provide platform for the government to excel. So he has to deal with that. He has to deal with leaders and elders of the party. In his ESCO, I don't expect that it will disturb in any serious form the composition of his cabinet. With the settlement that was secured for him during the transition from acting now to...
Well, Ambassador, we've not heard anything about that, and what we've heard already is just people themselves voluntarily resigning from the Executive Council. But of course, in the days ahead, we'll wait to see how the whole thing pans out. A chieftain of the APC in Ondo State and former Nigeria's ambassador to Togo, Sola Iji, thank you very much for joining us on the News at 1.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's bring some news from outside Nigeria. Israel's military will act to remove Hezbollah from the border with Lebanon.